A few years ago, I had the opportunity to speak to a group of high school students on the topic of don't waste your life. Among the advice I shared with them, one truth stood out as the most important theme. Don't just drift through life, but live it with intention and on purpose. It's a lesson that can't be learned too soon, and I believe it's one of the most important principles for anyone to embrace, regardless of age. Because when you think about it, living with intention is the necessary foundation for both a simple and a meaningful life. In a world that is noisy, hectic, and constantly in motion, simplicity is countercultural. Minimalism doesn't follow the world's obsession with excess, consumption, and self-indulgence. And in a society that's always wanting more, choosing to be satisfied with less is definitely a radical act. But living intentionally will never happen by accident. It always requires us to both lay a solid foundation and build practical habits on top of it. Both steps are important. First, we lay the foundation in our life for living an intentional one. Here's how to do that. Number one, you realize that your life is made up of choices. That every day we wake up with opportunity to make decisions. Every morning we have the power to choose our attitude, our actions, and the direction of our life. Nobody can take that decision away from you, not even yourself. Your past doesn't dictate your future. The patterns you've fallen into can be broken. Every new day is a fresh start. And it comes with the chance to live differently and intentionally. So don't be passive. Realize you have the ability to shape your life today. Second, to lay this foundation, we evaluate the culture around us. Because nobody lives in a vacuum. We're all living within the current of a culture that is pulling us in one direction or another. Living with intention means stepping back and evaluating where that current is leading. Is it aligning with the life you want to live, or is it pushing you further away from your values and goals? Take time to examine how the culture surrounding you is influencing your decisions and whether you need to step out of that flow to pursue something more meaningful. That's one of the reasons I think solitude, time away from noise and culture, is so important. The third way we lay a proper foundation for an intentional life is we examine ourselves. Self-reflection is essential to living with purpose. You need to know who you are, your passions, your strengths, your weaknesses, your tendencies, your talents, your abilities. This self-awareness helps us make decisions that align with our true self rather than what others expect of you. So spend some time understanding what drives you and what holds you back. It's one of the most valuable investments you can make. Secondly, then, in order to live an intentional life, we need to add practical steps that build on that foundation. For example, number one, we decide to live our own life. Stop comparing yourself to others. You weren't born to live someone else's life, and there's no sense in wasting any of your being envious of them. You embrace your unique journey. Your life is yours to live, so make the most of it. Remember, we only get one shot at reaching our full potential, and living someone else's definition of success will never get you there. Secondly, we define our purpose. What do you want your life to stand for? What do you want to contribute to the world? Find a cause or a passion bigger than yourself and commit to it. Getting clear on this purpose will bring clarity to your decisions and your actions. After all, how can we determine where to spend our time or money unless we know what we want to accomplish with our life? Purpose helps us wake up every morning with direction and meaning. So define it, write it down, and revisit it often. In my book, Things That Matter, which I'll link below in the description, I include helpful workbook exercises on how to discover your purpose. The exercises ask readers to reflect on some of the questions that I've asked here, plus others, to help them determine their purpose. And if you're wondering what your purpose is in life, I recommend it. Third, we set goals in life that align with that purpose. Because goals give us direction and shape our actions. Once you've defined your purpose, set clear goals that move you toward it. I describe it as this. If purpose is where you want your life to end up, the goals are the stepping stones along the way to get you there. They help generate a sense of movement and they keep us on track. And when your goals align with your purpose, every step you take becomes meaningful. Number 4 then is to stay focused on that purpose and on those goals. In a world of constant distraction, staying focused is one of the greatest challenges. Social media, television, endless stream of notifications are all competing for your attention. To live intentionally, you need to guard your focus. Learn to disconnect from distractions that don't serve your purpose. Turn off the TV, step away from social media, and clear out the physical clutter in your home that drains your time and energy. The more you simplify your surroundings, the easier it is to stay focused on what matters. And lastly, number 5, learn from others. One of the best ways to grow and to live an intentional life is to learn from others who are already living with intention. Intentional people are both curious and humble. They recognize the value of learning from others. So identify people who are living out your values and your goals, and then study their habits and their strategies. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to live your life with purpose, and you'll find it's easier to stay on course. The worst thing you could ever waste is your life. So instead, commit yourself to intentional living and living with purpose.